The United States, China, Brazil, India and South Africa have agreed to a new voluntary climate pact in Copenhagen. The move could become a framework for a broader agreement, but fell well short of what was hoped for and was universally slammed as a failure by environmental groups. The agreement aims to provide $30 billion in funding for poor countries from next year to 2012 and $100 billion per year after 2020. The three-page document, which is not binding under international law, dropped a final paragraph in a previous draft that had said that negotiations on a full legally binding treaty would have to be completed by the end of 2010. Chinese President Hu Jintao has arrived in Macau to officiate the celebration ceremony for the 10th anniversary of Macau's return to China on Sunday. Hu will also attend a groundbreaking ceremony at the University of Macau's Hengqin campus. It's President Hu's second visit to Macau after he attended a celebration to mark the 5th anniversary of the Macau handover. Meanwhile, Hong Kong's Chief Executive Donald Tsang has also arrived in Macau for the anniversary celebrations. Chinese net users are playing a larger role in the nation's anti-graft fight and flocking to a government website to blow the whistle on alleged corruption. That's according to the top disciplined government inspection body, which launched 12388.gov.cn, a website to report alleged government graft at the end of October. So far, nearly 14,000 accounts of corruption have been reported. Hits to the website topped 19 million on the first day and have averaged more than 1 million per day ever since. Provincial-level reporting sites are also popular, with senior officials already punished as a result of online corruption reports. China property stocks fell the most in 4 months on Friday, led by Poly Real Estate Group, on concerns that the government will step up measures to curb property speculation. Poly Real Estate, China's second largest developer by market value, plunged 7.5% for its 9th day of losses after the government increased down payment requirements on land purchases. Gemdale, the 4th largest, slid 7.8%, while the Shanghai Property Index slumped 5.4%, the most since August. China's foreign trade is projected to grow 15% next year, according to a report released by the China Institute for WTO Studies. The report forecasts imports to increase by 15% and exports by 13%. With the external demand improving and the global economic recovery gaining momentum, it's said the declining trend of China's exports would come to an end next year. In the first 11 months this year, China's imports and exports totaled almost $2 trillion, down more than 17% compared with a year earlier. The report also warns of rising protectionism against Chinese products in 2010. A 61-year-old Uyghur living in Sweden has been charged with spying for China on Uyghur expatriates living in countries including the United States. Babur Mesut, now a naturalised Swedish citizen, has been charged with aggravated espionage over a period of 18 months. Prosecutors say he passed information to a Chinese diplomat and a Chinese journalist who carried out operations in Sweden on assignment from the Chinese intelligence service. He is also alleged to have spied on Uyghur organisations active in Norway, Germany and the US. Mehmut's arrest in June, coupled with the expulsion of a Chinese diplomat from Sweden, saw China expel a Swedish diplomat the following day. If convicted, Mehmut faces up to 4 years in prison. And Beijing now has more than 4 million vehicles on its roads. Traffic officials said there were 3.99 million vehicles on the roads by last weekend, and around 10,000 new vehicles are added to this every week. Officials have spent billions of dollars on public transport over the past few years, but a city that used to be famous for its bicycles now has congested streets, just like many other modern cities. Beijing Traffic Management Bureau also said the city had nearly 6 million drivers out of a population of around 17 million. And those are the BUN News headlines for now, but we'll be back with more news after this.